into you said you were the second. How do you want to go down and be remembered then come the end of your career as the greatest of all time?
I don't mind being the greatest woman of all time. I don't mind being second to a great like Muhammad Ali. I think that I have great boxing skills, great power, and I'm constantly growing as a fighter. It's whatever. If people want to call me GOAT, that's fine. They want to call me GOAT with the W, that's fine too. It doesn't really matter. Just perceive me and look at me as a great fighter, and we'll all get along good.
Good work, good work.
Clarissa, we wish you the very best next time you step foot in the ring, and Joseph as well. All the very best, and we can't wait to see you both fighting again very soon.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, Joseph.
See you, Clarissa.
And Addy, just finally with you then, we still see the mega money pay-per-view TV deals, and of course the sums of money associated with super fights these days are enormous, but comparatively, is it harder to get the eyeballs when there is so much competition from other sports, from other distractions, compared to 50 years ago with Ali and Frazier?
I think it is, because not only have you got the other sports, you've got social media platforms, people are occupied doing other things now. However, there is something about heavyweight boxing that when you've got two really good fighters matched up together, it will make people stop and take notice. I always like to use this parallel between heavyweight boxing and the 100 meters at the Olympic Games. It kind of sets the tone of what happens next. So if you go into an Olympic Games and you have a good men and women's 100 meters final, like when Usain Bolt was competing, all of a sudden casual fans are tuning into what's happening in track and field. When the heavyweight division, as we've been saying with Joseph Parker and Clarissa Shields, when it's vibrant, people will tune in, and you've got two big personalities in Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, two good boxers. It's an opportunity to see the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. It's heavyweight boxing. It's so unpredictable. Two big men throwing heavy leather. You know it could all change in a split second. And I think that is the kind of matchup that whatever else is happening in the world, people will tune in to see this one.
And we heard those very vivid descriptions of New York at the time of the Ali Frazier fight, the backdrop of the Vietnam. I wonder whether it's Joshua Fury or Fury Joshua. Will we be talking in 50 years' time on Sports World in the future about the context of the COVID pandemic to this classic? Is it got the makings of that?
It's got the makings of a great fight, because you've got two very, very good fighters in Tyson Fury.
Taken by Joshua Wisdom. And there's a fumble, ball's loose, and the Marauders look like they've recovered it around the Lexington 20-yard line. Let's wait and see. We got, of course, players pointing both ways, and the official says it will remain Lexington ball. So Joshua Wisdom, the senior, fumbled on the opening return. Lexington as the designated home team today, wearing their road navy blue jerseys, with the, looks like white or off-white numbers splashed on the back, and the white pants, as we said, Marauders in their road white tops with maroon pants and, of course, maroon helmets. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Lexington. The ball spotted at their 21-yard line. We'll try to kind of catch you up here as the stream just came on live, and we're kicking off, and Aiden Lynch is the quarterback for the Minutemen. He is a junior, and he is in the shotgun formation, waiting for signals. You're going to see quite a few changes to this unique football season in terms of the ability to huddle or not, and we're going to have a handoff on 1st and 10. Not sure. That was, I believe, Ahmad Hanbury, a junior running back for Lexington.
2nd and 9.
Pickup of a yard, so it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 22-yard line. Want to remind you, of course, today's the first day of spring, the vernal equinox. And in a year-long span that has continued to be like no other in our lifetimes, we are naturally marking this first day of spring with opening day of the 2020 Belmont football season, otherwise known as the Fall 2 sports season. And this, of course, this season is featuring games and sports that were not played last fall due to the COVID pandemic. Of course, a shorter season than most, as these teams will be playing just 5 games, all against their Middlesex League Liberty Division opponents. Here is Hanbury once again on 2nd down, and the Marauders are there to sniff it out once again. Good defense, among others. Looks like number 50, Tony Zhao, a junior, was in there on the stop for Belmont. Isaiah Gullidge, a senior, number 55, checking in for the Marauders. Try to pick up some of these other numbers along the way. See Preston Jackson Stevens. He's one of the 3 senior captains for Belmont. And he is playing in the secondary at a safety spot. Or actually, check that. Looks like he's at the corner spot here. Number 24, Chad Francis, another one of the senior captains back at the safety. And here is Lynch back on 3rd and long. He'll toss it long down the field, and it is caught. Nice catch right near midfield with some pretty tight coverage. And
Caught on the 50-yard line, 1st and 10, Lexington.
Boy, they huddle so quickly together. It's hard to tell who's making the plays for Lexington here. The receiver kind of immediately was gang tackled, and the ball will be spotted at the 49-yard line of Lexington. A big first down play of over 25 yards, and that came on about a 3rd and 8. So Lexington converts on their first down opportunity. One of the things that's not changing are the quarter lengths. We're still going to play 12-minute quarters, as has been the rule for several years now in the Middlesex League and actually across the state. Lynch remains in the shotgun. He will hand off, and that's Hanbury again, and he gets nothing again. He has not gotten much, and I believe that might have been, 58 Victor Insanik in on the tackle. He's a 6'1", 195-pound junior for the Belmont defense. Of course, Marauders again, coached by Jan Kuman. It's his 7th season at the helm of the Marauders. Comes in with a record of 24-41 over the first 6 seasons he's been coaching here. Of course, the biggest highlight of all coming last season, Marauders finishing 6-4. It was their first winning season in 10 years. And I say last year, I should really say 2019, and I know this is just, boy, these timing remarks, and now we're going to have false start, I believe, called here on Lexington. Flags fly, and Coach Q was quick to point that to the official, and it will be a 5-yard penalty, making this a 2nd and 15 about, as there was little gain by Hanbury on the first play. So 2nd and 15 for Lexington at the 44-yard line. Do want to let you know, of course, in this unique football season here, that BHS Sports TV will be happy to bring you coverage of 3 of the 5 games, including this what is a road game today, but thankfully we can bring it to you here at Harris Field. Matt McHugh is the 3rd senior captain for the Marauders, and he made the tackle on Ahmad Hanbury, and that's going to bring up 3rd and long, called about 3rd and 13. I'll even say 14. 3rd and 14 with the ball spotted at the 46-yard line. Now we'll go back to 3rd and 13. Looks like they have to get the ball down to the Belmont 41 for a first. So the 2nd, 3rd, and long opportunity coming up for Lexington. So far there have been 4 handoffs to number 21, Hanbury, and he has not gotten much yardage on any of them, but Lynch proved, as he did earlier, that he could throw the long pass downfield and find a receiver. So here's Lynch once again, 3rd and 13. This one's a wobbler, and it could be caught by anyone, and the ball's tipped away, incomplete. That time the ball was too long for the intended receiver.
4th and 13.
Again, can't make out who that is for Lexington. It looks like the first number is a 3. And it's going to be 4th down regardless. 4th down, and Marauders are going to get the ball for the first time this afternoon here on offense. We do welcome all of you watching us, our live stream here this afternoon on Comcast Channel 96, Verizon Channel 30. And if you're watching our live stream, of course, that's at belmontmedia.org/infotv. Here comes the punt, and it's actually going to take a Belmont bounce and get down to about the 28-yard line, and that is where the Belmont offense will take over. 1st and 10. And we'll see what they do. Coach Q kind of running more of the offense this year. Dave Pereira, longtime assistant.
On the 30-yard line, 1st and 10.
One of several assistants on the Marauder staff will be heading up the defense, and they did a pretty good job on that first series, aside from the one long pass completion for Lexington. So here are the Marauders on offense, and split out right here to the near side, almost in front of us, is Preston Jackson Stevens, number 4. They will hand off inside, and that's going to, I'm guessing that was Chad Francis. A little hard to tell from here, but Francis should be the top running back, and in fact he is, as he gives the ball back to the official, gets a couple of yards. Chad Francis, a senior captain this year for the Marauders, and deservedly so. Last season ran for 12 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards, and he had 4 games of at least 200 yards rushing, and one of them happened to be against these Lexington Minutemen. October 11th, 2019, he carried the ball 28 times for 233 yards and a pair of touchdowns, and there he is again, and running for close to a first down. Francis just has that explosion about him. Once he can break it through the initial line, you got to watch out.
Looks like 31 for Belmont. On the 39
And that game by Francis against these Minutemen came 527 days ago. In fact, it's been 479 days since the Marauders' last football game, which was a Turkey Day win, 24-14 over their longtime Thanksgiving rivals, the Watertown Raiders. That game took place at Victory Field. It is nice to have football back here in Belmont. Here is Francis on the 3rd and short carry, and he'll have enough of the first down as he makes it across the 40 up to the 41-yard line. Should tell you that the starting quarterback for the Marauders, Ryan Broderick, taking over for the graduating Avery Arno. Broderick is a junior, 6'3", 155 pounds they list him at here. I think that's what they qualify as a beanpole. He is long and lean. So we've got a 1st and 10 for Belmont. Ball spotted just outside the 40-yard line. We expect to see both the junior Broderick and the senior Brennan Westgate at the helm quarterbacking the Marauder offense. Likely see Westgate in the second half here in this opening game, almost kind of treated like an exhibition game. Now, here comes Francis looking for some running room on the outside. He doesn't find it this time, as Joshua Wisdom and Gavin Hatfield, a couple of players to watch on the Lexington roster, came up and made the stop defensively. We've already got under 5 minutes to go in a very fast-moving first quarter, and no score.
2nd and 13, Belmont.
It was a loss of 3 on the play, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 13 at the 37-yard line. Broderick is working out of the shotgun. Had a man in motion. That was McGrath, and here's the inside slant to Andre Yardemian, junior receiver, and perhaps got back the lost yardage on the prior play, but it's still going to bring up a 3rd down and long, and it turns out he actually didn't gain anything, so it's going to remain 3rd and 13. Marauders have to get the ball to the Lexington 49 to pick up a first. Oddly enough, this is the exact same spot on the field where Lexington was trying to get a first down from the other side if we just flip the field around. So as we said, it's a short schedule this spring or fall 2 season, whatever you want to call it. Marauders are going to play each of the other 5 teams in the Middlesex League Liberty Division, starting, of course, this week with Lexington. Next week, they'll be again here at Harris Field against Winchester. Then there's road games at Woburn and Reading, followed by the home finale against Arlington. And here's a long pass downfield. It's incomplete as Jackson Stevens was double-teamed, and the pass by Broderick sailed over his head. So Marauders do not complete the 3rd and long and will be forced to punt. With Hampton Trout having graduated, of course, we've got a new kicker. We saw Jonathan Williams kick off to start the game. And right now we've got number 15, Noah Meyer-Heron. He's a senior, and he'll be back to do the punting. Gavin Hatfield, number 23, is back deep for Lexington. Meyer Herron is actually a soccer player making his football debut with the Marauders, thanks in part to the split schedule in the Fall 2 season. Now the ball's loose on the ground, and it looked like it was first touched by Lexington. That's what the Marauders are claiming. And I believe, yes, it looks like it's Belmont ball. They recover the fumble. I don't even think that was the return man for Lexington. I think that might have just got off a Lexington player, and all of a sudden a Belmont player pounced on the football. And once again, another special teams turnover by Lexington, and it gives the Marauders, or, well, take that back. We had a fumble by Lexington on the opening kickoff that they recovered. This time there's a fumble or a muff that was not recovered, and Marauders in business at the Lexington 29-yard line. We've again got Jackson Stevens split out wide near side, and in the near slot it is Meyer Herron. Handoff goes to Francis on first down, and he'll pick up 1, maybe 2 yards on the play with Yates and Theodore Golestano on the stop. Francis now will check out of the game, and coming in will be Tyler Arno, wearing his older brother's number. Tyler Arno, who was on the Belmont football team in 2019, he took his older brother Avery's number when Avery graduated, and now is wearing number 5, I would presume in his honor, or it could be just a lucky number for the Arno family. Regardless, that is now Tyler Arno wearing number 5, and he's actually back there along with Broderick, who works out of the shotgun, and he'll throw, and it is caught. Wow. Noah Meyer Herron actually, I almost want to say he intercepted that ball, because it looked like number 4, Joshua Wisdom, was going to get the INT, and Meyer Herron made a great play to pull the ball away from Wisdom. Degree of difficulty 10 plus on that one. That is completing a pass the hard way for sure, but a great catch by Meyer Herron. First completion of the day for the Marauders, and it brings up a third down and 12. Marauders actually lost yards on that play, unfortunately, but they do maintain possession. That's the fortunate part. And as you can also see here a little bit, we talk about some of the rule changes as a result of COVID. We've got this tiered huddling system. You don't see all 11 players huddled up at the same time. And, in fact, now we're going to have a timeout taken by the Marauders. You saw Coach Q give a play to his quarterback, Ryan Broderick, and then Broderick went up, and there were sort of like 2 lines of players, and this is part of what I guess they're calling tiered huddling. Again, one of the many adjustments that they're making here for this this Fall 2 football season. Other changes, the roster, there's 55 players on the Belmont roster. 40 of them will dress on game day. And, of course, even the part of dressing in the uniform has become a little different, because this season the Marauders do not have a locker room. They actually kind of have to change and get into their uniforms on the kind of on the fly, but no locker rooms. Again, another COVID restriction. One of many changes. It's been, as we say, a very unique school year for all these kids, and of course the teachers and administration. Of many folks we want to try to pass along thanks to today, of course. Want to thank the currently new interim athletic director at Belmont High School, Amy Doherty, who's taken over for Matt Ruane for the Fall 2 sports season, which includes both football and volleyball. And the season will be running up until about mid-April, and then we'll jump right into the regular spring sports season, which includes all your favorites like baseball, softball, lacrosse, and the like, and rugby. I'm sorry, how could I forget our state champion Belmont Marauders rugby, both men and women, kicking butt on the rugby pitch. I even got that term right. There you go. Actually, I believe one of the rugby coaches is here today. He's watching this football and calling it, boy, these guys aren't tough at all. Look at all the padding and everything they have to wear, helmets and whatnot. Here's a 3rd and long, and Roderick's back to throw, and it is intercepted. Shaden Dillon with the pick. The ball was just a little long and just out of the outstretched reach of Preston Jackson Stevens. And Dillon was there in some tight coverage and made the pick.
Dillon on the return back to the 25. Flag on the field.
And we got a flag down. Looks like an illegal block in the back, I think was the initial call, but I didn't see who they called it on. Oh, they're calling this one on Lexington, so it is not a turnover. Belmont is going to pick up a first down out of this. It's a illegal block in the back, and that is a 15-yard penalty on a 3rd. It was a 3rd and about 13, I believe. They're bringing the ball all the way down to the Lexington 12-yard line. Marauders catching a big break there. I don't know.
Lexington will be starting on their own 12-yard line.
I couldn't tell if that penalty took place on the actual play where you had Dillon and Jackson Stevens going for the ball. Although you do have to wonder, it did feel like Dillon had better positioning, so maybe he did push Jackson Stevens in the back, and that allowed him to make that pick look relatively easy. Here's a 1st and 10, and we're going to have a flag down as direct snap went to Nelson Mendez-Steven. And Coach Q is signaling that this one, too, is against the Lexington Minutemen. Holding the call, which will be half the distance. That'll back Lexington up to around their 6-yard line. Or, excuse me, I'm sorry, it's against Lexington, so Marauders moving to the 6-yard line. And that's where they'll park the ball. So another automatic first down.
Holding against Lexington.
Oh, I'm sorry. Boy, excuse me, folks. Boy, talk about being rusty. I haven't called a football game in at least 479 days, so you can excuse my rust. You know what happened? That illegal block in the back penalty on Lexington was on the interception return, so as a result, Lexington had the ball. That's why they just ran an offensive play, got called for an offensive holding penalty, which puts the ball at their own 6. It is 1st and 15, or say about 1st and 16 for Lexington at their own 6-yard line. And again, Mendez-Steven is back there, number 5, now quarterbacking for Mike Hill's Minutemen. And he will run out of bounds, but not before he picks up a first down.
Mendez-Steven.
Out beyond the 25-yard line. A nice run there by the sophomore quarterback, Nelson Mendez-Steven of Lexington Minutemen. Lexington trying to bounce back from a 3-8 season a year ago, which was Michael Hill's first season as their head coach. Of course, the Lexington football family suffered a big loss within the past year with the passing of longtime legendary Massachusetts football coach Bill Tye. Tye succumbed to coronavirus. He was 95 years old. He had coached the Minutemen for 36 seasons. Also had a couple other coaching stops along the way in his high school career. He coached high school football for, I believe, over 60 years. An incredible figure in Lexington. Would think that they'll be naming a field after him. And here's a first down carry. Gavin Hatfield has it for the Minutemen.
Rory McDermott in on the tackle.
Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not 100% sure. They might have already renamed the football field in Lexington for Coach Tye. And unfortunately, due to some of the recent rain and other conditions, their field is a little beat up, and that's why the Minutemen are playing here at Harris Field today, as we have reached the end of the first quarter with no score between the Marauders and the Minutemen. So we turn things around a little bit here. Lexington will have the ball when we flip the field over, but kind of to recap for those of you who, again, it's been a while since we've watched any Belmont football, and you may have forgotten, Marauders accomplished an awful lot of goals under Coach Jan Kuman in 2019. Marauders always, as Coach Q and I have spoken for several years now, he sets a bunch of goals for the team before the season, and in 2019 accomplished pretty much all of those goals. That includes a winning record. Marauders with their 6-4 record last year was their first winning season since 2009. Also, the Marauders for the second year in a row qualified for the Division III North MIAA football playoffs. That's an 8th seed. Marauders still looking for that elusive first playoff win under that format, but they did make the playoffs again. And then also for the second year in a row, the Marauders beat Watertown on Thanksgiving Day. As we mentioned, that 24-14 win at Victory Field came nearly 500 days ago. Marauders also ended up with a winning record in the Middlesex League Liberty Division. Marauders went 3-2, and that included wins against these Minutemen, as we mentioned earlier, along with Arlington and Woburn. And, of course, one thing that all three of those wins had in common, Chad Francis running for over 200 yards in each of them. Right now, though, the Marauders are on defense as we flip things around. Lexington going left to right here in quarter number 2. Gavin Hatfield gets the carry on second and about 4, and he'll looks like he might have enough of the first down. Let's see where they're going to spot this. And, yep, they're going to move the chains. Ball is almost at the 35-yard line. Will be enough for Lexington first down. See some of the other Marauders. Again, we expect to see a lot of players being substituted in and out today on both sides. Barrett Patine, as we're looking at the Marauder defense, he just checked out of the ball game. Again, trying to make out some of the numbers. We, of course, see Francis set up as the deep man. In fact, I can see all three Belmont senior captains pretty much right in front of me in the lining up in the defensive backfield and secondary. Here's a pitch on first down for the Minutemen, and staying in bounds and now finally being thrown out of bounds was number 28, Patrick Krogan. 54, Reed Carlson, a senior, among others, was in on the stop. They also got McHugh, gave McHugh credit for part of the tackle there. Try to get you some other players in there. Zach Moss, number 10, in on defense as well. Looks like he's kind of lined up in a linebacker slot along with Tony Zhao, number 50, whose number we mentioned earlier. 52 is Tigran Nooney, and he's in there on the defensive line, along with the aforementioned Reed Carlson, who was in on that last tackle. Second down, handoff goes to Hatfield. He turns back inside, and he gets smacked by Matt McHugh short of the first down. McHugh giving him a little bit of a stare. And McHugh leading by example, which is one of the reasons he's one of the senior captains this year for the Marauders. Third down and 1 upcoming. Looks like the Minutemen have to get to their own 45 to pick up the first down. Of course, as you're watching this game from Harris Field this afternoon, thanks to the great camera work of Jeremy Meserve, you can, from time to time, you'll see the in the background the building of the new Belmont High School. Certainly changes the skyline here considerably. 3rd and 1, and the Minutemen are going to pick up the first, and they actually will get the ball all the way into Belmont territory. Nice piece of running that time by Gavin Hatfield. He's only a sophomore.
Lexington first down.
He needed 1, and he got about 8 as the ball moves down to the Belmont 48-yard line, 1st and 10, Lexington.
Ball is on the Belmont 48-yard line, 1st and 10.
Marauders, I believe, do not have a first down yet. Lexington has picked up, I want to say that's their 3rd here early in the second quarter. Well, it's not quite so early. We've got under 9 minutes to go until halftime, which I presume will be a pretty short halftime period. Here's a little screen pass far side going to Hatfield, and Hatfield will be tackled, and I believe that's McHugh over there again. I guess we're going to expect to see Matt McHugh all over the field making tackles. At the very least, he's the guy whose job it is to keep an eye on Gavin Hatfield, as he caught that screen pass from Mendez Steven. gets to the Belmont 42. So bring up a 2nd down and 4. Screen pass results in a 6-yard gain.
2nd and 4 for Lexington.
Deep in the I formation is Patrick Krogan. They will go to the up man Hatfield once again. Hatfield fighting for the 1st down, but he'll be pushed back by a swarm of Marauders.
Reed Carlson, Zach Morrison on the tackle.
I'm going to cheat a little bit here and rely on our PA guy, who by the way, is not Al Gledhill. Unfortunately, not able to PA this afternoon. You mentioned Carlson and Moss in on the tackle there. It was a gain of 2, so 3rd and 2 with the ball just inside the Belmont 40. Let's see what the Marauders can do here defensively. As Mendez-Steven works out of the shotgun, they go up to the up back again. And it's going to be a 1st down and more. That looks a little bit like a rugby scrum. I'm sure our Belmont rugby coach in attendance will appreciate that play. As
1st down Lexington. McEwen on the tackle.
Be good enough for a Lexington 1st down at the Belmont 33-yard line. Marauders making a defensive substitution. Number 77, A.J. Ramey, one of the seniors, checking in defensively for Belmont.
1st and 10, Lexington ball on the 32-yard line.
Coach Hill of Lexington with Mendez-Steven as his quarterback, employing that kind of a unique formation. I know there's a name for this, and I don't want to use the wrong term here, but he's got backs flanked on both sides of him, that being Mendez-Steven, the quarterback, and now we're going to have a penalty. You have 2 running backs or flankers, however you want to say it, on both sides of the quarterback, and then about 5 yards behind the quarterback, you have a running back. I don't want to call this an I formation because it is not an I formation. It might be the wing T. Do I dare say it? I mean, it's a play that former Belmont football coach Ed Mullen loved to run. He had 3 running backs in his backfield at all times. Yeah, you know what? This probably is the wing T because it certainly looks like a T formation out there in the backfield. And here comes the handoff, and Hatfield's on his feet, and he's going all the way to the house for a touchdown. 28-yard touchdown run by sophomore Gavin Hatfield results in the first score of the game, 6-0 Lexington. Well, you can also see what that wing T does is it results in a little bit of confusion for the defense because you can play the misdirection game. As that kick is up and good, extra point made by number 16, Lucas Patax-Basaza. So we've got 5:46 to go here in the second quarter. And it is 7-0 in favor of the Lexington Minutemen. Again, that drive began in Lexington territory. Drive of over 60 yards, capped off on a 28-yard run by sophomore running back Gavin Hatfield. As you can see, Hatfield was one of the 2 running backs that was split alongside the sophomore quarterback Nelson Mendez-Steven. And with the wing T, and this is again a play that a Belmont football coach back in the 90s, Ed Mullen, used to run with regularity. It's sort of the play where you've got a deep back where you can pitch it to the deep back if you want, but the quarterback also has the option of giving it. He can either turn to his left or right and hand it off to a running back. And it works a little bit like kind of a read option in the sense that the quarterback has that the ability to sort of fake it one way and then hand off the other way, and you know which way is the running back going to go. And that's kind of what you saw in that play there, because Hatfield took the handoff from the right side of the quarterback and then cut left, and then he cut back right and then outran the Belmont defense for the touchdown. It was a nice piece of running there for the Lexington sophomore. Let's see. We're going to have, once again, we'll have Patax Basaza back there to kick off. Trying to make out who the deep men are here for the Marauders. I believe one of them maybe, I swear that's number 6, Ryan Broderick, the quarterback out there, and it might very well be. And in fact, he gets it, but he fumbles it. He's going to have to probably just land on it. No, he picks it back up. No, check that. I believe that might be Tyler Arno, number 5. That's either a 5 or a 6, and it was a 5. That's Tyler Arno on the return. And so the Marauders will start on their second offensive drive of the game at their own 25-yard line.
First and 10, Belmont, in their own 25-yard line.
Let's see if Coach Q's going to stick with Ryan Broderick here. Is he going to go to his other quarterback, Brendan Westgate, who we expect to see here today? I don't know if they're going to alternate by series or by halves. And again, you can see how the tiered huddling works, where you've got Coach Q and you see the players all spread out there. I'm sure Jeremy's giving you a shot of that. And it is sort of a different way for these coaching staffs to do things, not just game day, but of course also on for practices and whatnot. You can see Coach Q out there on the field talking to some of his players, which, again, I think this is another modification of the high school football rules. You would not normally let a coach hang out there on the field this long. But, again, I think it's just they've got to provide some flexibility so that they can convey the plays they want to run. And, in fact, it will be number 6, Ryan Broderick, going back in to take the helm for the Belmont offense. As you can see, the offensive line goes up and sets their spots, and once again, the lone back situated to Broderick's left is Chad Francis. And, in fact, he'll take the handoff and look for a hole, and tries to squeeze through. Gets about 3 yards.
Chad Francis on the carry.
And, well, they're going to give him a shorter gain up to the 27. So pickup of 2 for Francis. Again, we mentioned Francis with a huge effort. 233 rushing yards the last time these two teams played here at, which happened to be here at Harris Field in October of 2019. This time the receivers split here to the near side will be number 3, Andre Ardemian, with Jackson Stevens going far side right. And we're going to have a timeout taken by Belmont. It comes with 4:51 to go here in the second quarter. Again, we want to thank you for joining us for live coverage. I know we've got a lot of viewers out there, with the limited fan capacity at Harris Field. A lot of you are watching the game today on Comcast Channel 96 or perhaps Verizon Channel 30 if you are in Belmont. And if you're streaming us, of course, you're watching the broadcast on belmontmedia.org/infotv. I want to welcome you to BHS Sports TV's coverage of Marauder football, the Fall 2 season. Belmont's version of March Madness, if you will. I'm Todd Bloniarz, glad to be part of the madness as I usually am, and always joined by Jeremy Meserve, our cameraman and executive producer for BHS Sports TV, who makes sure that the stream is running and those highlights get cut. And hopefully we'll have some highlights to cut for you from this game. We haven't had any yet from the Belmont point of view. perhaps the Hatfield family would beg to differ. Gavin Hatfield, Lexington running back, had a touchdown earlier. Here's Francis, and Francis trying to get out into the open field, and of course he can be a highlight maker all by himself. Almost broke a tackle, but he still picks up a first down. About a 9-yard run there for Chad Francis's longest of the game.
And that's the Belmont Marauder, first down.
He will check out. Tyler Arno will check in. Marauder offensive line doing some nice blocking. Perhaps when they're at a better angle, we might be able to get you some more of those numbers. I think Reed Carlson's in there. Of course, a lot of the players that were on the defensive line of Belmont are doubling up and playing O-line as well. So, again, guys like Nooney and Carlson, and now here comes the handoff to Arno. Arno's looking to try to cut back in. He was running wide and gets maybe a yard or two.
Tyler Arno on the call.
The junior, Tyler Arno, as we said, he slid right into his older brother's uniform as soon as it became available. Number 5 is Tyler's number this year. Of course, apparently you can't have a Belmont football roster with more than one Arno on the roster, and the other one would be freshman Jaden Arno, number 14, although I don't believe, no, I do see him down there on the sideline. He's just a freshman, so I'm not sure he'll get into the game today, but you never know. Here goes the pitch to Francis on a second down, and he'll get a couple more. Marauders slowly making their way towards midfield.
Chad Francis, pick up of 3.
3-yard gain for Francis. Again, the 3 Belmont captains this year. Can't remember the last time Belmont only had 3 captains. Feels like it's been a few years, but those 3 captains, Preston Jackson Stevens, Matt McHugh, Chad Francis, all great choices. Marauders quickly run up to the line this time. This is sort of a hurry-up play on third down. Let's see. It's a quick pass to the far side to Preston Jackson Stevens, who breaks a tackle and is near the first down marker. Nice play there. Just talking about those senior captains, and Jackson Stevens took a play that looked like was going nowhere and broke a tackle and almost gets the first down. However, he's still a yard short. And it'll be 4th and 1. Marauders in the hurry-up, and it looks like they're going for it on 4th down and 1, clock running. 2:15, 2:14 to go until halftime. This time under center, and they'll go the quarterback sneak. And Ryan Broderick's got enough of the first down, although Lexington players are saying he fumbled the ball. We'll have to wait to see what the official's going to call here. They are saying it is Belmont ball, no fumble. So Marauders get the first down thanks to the quarterback sneak from junior QB Ryan Broderick.
First and 10 on their own 46-yard line.
So the Marauders 1st and 10 at their own 46, and now Broderick can go back to the shotgun. He'll hand off to Francis on first down, and busting through the line, Ahmad Hanbury, number 21.
Lexington tackle by 21.
Chad Francis had nowhere to go. He just had barely gotten the handoff from Broderick when Hanbury just came and dropped him for a loss of almost 5 yards. We'll call it, we will call it 5. 2nd down and 15 at the Belmont 41. Lexington was only 3-8 last year, and their defense gave up a lot of points, but Michael Hill vowed that they were going to be a little better this year, and given that there's a season here to be played, we're seeing some of that on display here in this first half. Here's Roderick, wobbles it down the field, but it is caught by Jackson Stevens. Amongst a couple of Lexington defenders, he'll hold on and get the first down to the Lexington 25-yard line.
By number 4, Preston Jackson Stevens.
The senior captain, multi-sport athlete. We saw him on the basketball team.
25-yard line, first and 10, Belmont.
A very talented athlete, also doing so much over the past year in terms of COVID and social justice as well, and making a big catch there to give the Marauders a first down. They're now in business at the Lexington 25-yard line, and somebody moved there. That play did not look right. I think someone jumped the gun, and it'll be a false start on Belmont.
Looks like a false start against Belmont. Going to be second and 15.
Ball's pushed back to the 30-yard line.
In the first half.
And Coach Q's just made a change at quarterback. He has put Brennan Westgate into the game. So right here in the middle of this drive, we knew we were going to see both Broderick and Westgate today at quarterback for the Marauders. Didn't expect to see them both on the same drive. But here we go. Westgate steps right into the game. He fires the ball. It's caught by Yardemian. And he's down to the Lexington 20-yard line. That was a nice quick throw by the senior QB Brennan Westgate, who was Avery Arno's backup last year. Oh, check that. I thought that was Yardemian on the catch. They're giving credit up in the booth to Tyler Arno. Thought that was a 3, not a 5, but they were both out there. Once again, Westgate going to the sideline.
9 seconds left in the first half.
We're down to just 9 seconds remaining. I believe that the change is being made here just because there's so little time left until the half. And in terms of getting the ball downfield, perhaps Westgate's got a little bit of a better arm. And so that's why Coach Q wants to employ him here. This may be the last play or the last 2 plays of the half. 9 seconds remaining. Here's Westgate out of a shotgun. Presume he's going to look for the end zone here, and in fact he will. And that will be overthrown in the direction of Preston Jackson Stevens, but there was coverage down there. Jaden Dillon and Gavin Hatfield were in the area. So we're down to 5 seconds left in the half. Time for one more play here as the Marauders try to even things up before halftime. The ball is at the Lexington 21-yard line. I got to tell you, if Hampton Trout was still here, perhaps we'd see Coach Q bringing in his kicker to try a field goal, which would be about a 38-yarder from here. I know that's in Hampton Trout's wheelhouse, but unfortunately he has graduated. And, no, we are. Go check that. So, hey, I stand corrected once again. Here is Noah Mayaheron, the soccer player, soccer-style kicker naturally, and that kick got blocked. Never got off the ground, and now the Marauders better be careful. Lexington may run this all the way back. 4 points, and a big tackle made by Jonathan Williams on Joshua Wisdom.
Touchdown saving tackle.
Saves the touchdown
By Brennan Westgate.
off the blocked field goal. Wow, well, there's a exciting ending for the first half. Not maybe in terms of excitement from the Good News Belmont perspective, as the field goal attempt by Mayaheron was blocked. I think there was a little trouble there on the snap, and Mayaheron's kick just never really got off the ground, and there was also a big rush by Lexington to put pressure on that. So we're at halftime. We're going to take a little break. It'll probably be a short one. The score at the half, Lexington 7, Belmont nothing, back with second half action here on BHS Sports TV in just a bit.
Score in the half, Lexington 7, Belmont nothing.
Well, my headset, I did notice at one point it sounded like the sound I could only hear out of one of the headphones, but yeah. I mean, that's not a huge deal because I'm not talking with anyone, so I don't really mind it. That's why I didn't say anything. It wasn't, Right. Is he saying the sound level is okay, though? The level's okay, but it's just, okay. I have bumped my thing a couple times. That's why I'm asking. Oh, good. Okay. I know this is the last time they played these guys. Francis had a huge game against them, and this Lexington team looks like they've gotten better. Yeah. Yeah, I know that kick had douche. That thing was like, wow, yikes. Are you getting shots of the school in the background? Because I didn't know. Yeah, I kind of figured. So if you want to open the second half, I can make another reference to the new school again. Okay. Oh, you are? Okay. All right. You want me to say hurry up and finish that damn building? You want me to say that? Okay. I can say that. Yeah. Right, and where are they getting all the money from to do this? Ah. I'm still sorry the cost of the new school, though, had to be at the cost of the field. I'm sorry, I meant the baseball field. But, of course it is. Well, again, it's kind of more modern times. That size school was good enough for, like, you and I. Oh, hey, Franklin. What are you doing? Do I have an extra roster? As a matter of fact, I do. There you go. Did you get a good photo of that last kick there? Boy, that thing was big. I think I could kick it that well. I mean, I could have a kick. And the guy's a soccer player. The kid's a soccer player, too. The kick. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to say that on the air. Poor kid. I think, this is the way they're throwing this whole football season together. You've got to take anything with a grain. I mean, this is just so bizarre. They should have just, for all right, like, what's even the point of bringing them back for 5 weeks? Why not just, is it just so that the kids can play? I mean, is that all? Is it just because, well, they don't want to have those poor football players, like, miss their senior year or something? I mean, like, the seniors, a lot of other guys got, a lot of other athletes, the baseball teams. Yeah, no, I know. Nothing's on right now. It shouldn't be. No. Although we've been off the air for more than a minute, I think. So. You are sure? I mean, I don't want to be caught saying something now that's okay. All right. That is weird that they might have heard us. Although I probably should have asked to have them say, "What did we say?" I mean, okay. I mean, I don't hear anything in my headset, but I don't know. Thanks. Well, that's what I'd be doing if I was watching one of your games, taking a lot of notes. So. that again. They're running that wing T, which is sort of a play that colleges used to run back in the 40s, 50s, and we had a football coach here in Belmont, like back in the 90s, that ran it. Yeah, Ed Mullen. Well, I know because I was doing some of his games back then. That's how long I've been doing this. But yeah, so you have a quarterback and you got a running back flank to each side, and then what you do is you kind of it's like almost like the read option of today, where you sort of hand it off and then they sort of cut. So the running back here was here. He gave it to him, and then he cut this way, and then he sort of cut back into the middle, and then he just kind of broke loose. Got away from the tackles. He had some speed. That would be like in rugby, I suppose. Your speed guy'd be on the outside, so when you pitch it out far, you can like try to outrun every. Exactly, the wings. You can picture him. Hatfield was kind of a wing, then you could say, when he once he got into the open. But yeah. How many Belmont football players are on the rugby team? Is it a lot? I mean, I remember when I went to Newton South like 2 or 3 years ago for the state championships, I remember there was a handful of Belmont football players on there. Oh, great. It's funny. I think some of the players you mentioned, most of them are like offensive linemen, which is, I guess, it's such a natural progression, right? Being from an offensive lineman to a rugby player. Right, which they don't get to do here. They don't run fumble rooskies anymore. Remember that play from years ago? Nebraska used to run. They put the ball down, and the other lineman would pick it up. And yeah, that was. Are we back on? Well, I think we're going to be almost ready here, and I can kind of fill up the up a little bit.
We're locked on the cheerleaders. Ready to go.
We're back almost moments away from the start of the third quarter here on the first day of spring from Harrisfield. And no, we're not here for lacrosse. We're here for football. Are you ready for some spring football? I know I am. Todd Bloniarz along with Jeremy Meserve here on BHS Sports TV. Chris, seeing the Belmont cheerleaders kind of on their downtime at the moment, but once we get back to action, so will they, providing the moral support. And there is a nice little crowd here at Harris Field today in the stands, all socially distanced, of course. Sort of.
Sort of, but kind of not. Totally not.
I know I'm socially distanced, I'll tell you that, and I prefer it that way for the time being. What a long, strange year it has been, folks, but we are glad to bring you more sports coverage. Again, very unique season. We had sort of a fall sports season, and there was a little bit of a winter sports season, and now this is the quote-unquote fall 2 season, sort of being sandwiched in or wedged in between the winter and spring sports seasons here at Belmont High School, and Marauders have managed to carve out a little 5-week season for some Middlesex League football. We will have 2 other games for you here on BelmontMedia.org/InfoTV on our live stream, as well as Comcast channels 96 and Verizon channel 30. We will have next week's game against Winchester. Sachems will be coming here to Harris Field for another 1 o'clock kickoff. In fact, all kickoffs here at Harris Field will be at 1 o'clock. Very old school. I remember some of the first football games I called for Belmont back in 19-something. Were Saturday afternoon games at 1 o'clock. And, of course, that was long before the lights got installed here at Harris Field, which gave the Marauders the ability to play little Friday night lights, and that's the way they would normally be doing it if it were not for COVID. Would certainly be allowing for larger crowds here today. But why not? Again, it's a beautiful day here, and the field's in great shape. Of course, I bring up the field's in great shape because technically this game was supposed to be played in Lexington today. However, their field is, which is a natural grass field, is not in very good shape, so the game was moved here to Belmont. Typically, that field, which does not get play in the spring, in fact, I believe all of Lexington's games this spring are being played on the road, where they'll be the designated home team for some of them, but that's how bad their field is. Unfortunately, it's just a case of, winter, having to endure a winter, and they don't play any other sports on that field, so typically their field's not used in the spring, and certainly when the season came up, kind of maybe caught Lexington a little off guard, so, well, there you go, and that's why the game's here in Belmont today, but we're glad to bring it to you. And I don't know what this long conference is about between the officials before we get things started for quarter number 3. Marauders, as you can see, will be moving right to left here in this third quarter, wearing their, as we said, since this is a technically road game for Belmont, they're wearing their white jerseys with maroon numerals and maroon pants, and, of course, the maroon helmets with the numbers splashed on the top of those helmets. They'll be moving from right to left here in this third quarter once the ball is kicked off. Again, I'm still not sure what we're waiting for. I believe we've come out of commercial, haven't we, Jeremy? I don't know. Do we? Normally they got that little light up saying, "Oh, we're in the commercial break." No, that's not the case. Coach Q's wondering what the heck's going on here. Well, when we do get underway, the Marauders are going to have the ball to start this third quarter, trailing 7-0. Well, one of the officials appears to be checking out of the game. I would assume that's momentarily. I don't know. We've seemed to have lost an official, at least for the moment. Again, it could be a temporary thing. Coach Q is going to take advantage of this opportunity to re-huddle, again, so to speak. The term huddle, not the same type of huddling that you would have seen prior to the pandemic. But Coach Q using this opportunity to get in a good discussion with his players. Oh, everything's good, okay. Perhaps it was an equipment malfunction of some sort, but nevertheless, our official is returned. Could also be a call to nature, although that was a very fast one if that's the case. Yeah, I was going to say it was at record time. Yeah, we don't need to get any more into that. Apparently they do not. Jeremy's asking me some questions that aren't these officials prepared for that sort of scenario? Apparently not all the time. And this ball's going to bounce, and Marauders are going to scramble to pick it up. That was Gordon Lassiter, a junior, downfield for Belmont. Ball was bouncing out of bounds, but it didn't quite get out of bounds, and Lassiter had to jump on the loose ball, which he did. And so the Marauders are going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line. That's a tough play because the ball was slowly bouncing its way towards the far sideline, but if Lassiter just waits for it to roll out of bounds, which of course would have resulted in the Lexington penalty, perhaps before that happens, the Lexington player can swoop in and grab the ball. So that's why Lassiter had to fall on it right near the sideline. So now we are here in the third quarter. And it is number 9, Brennan Westgate, who we saw finish up the first half for Belmont, back in at QB. And he'll pitch it out to Chad Francis. Coming to the near side, Francis swarmed by Minutemen and will be taken down at close to the 20-yard line.
Chad Francis on the carry.
Our only score in the first half was a 28-yard touchdown run by Lexington's sophomore running back Gavin Hatfield. It came with 5:46 to go in the second quarter. Marauders attempted a 38-yard field goal right at the end of the half by Noah Heron. That was blocked and almost run back, if not for a great play by Jonathan Williams of the Marauders, who saved the return by Joshua Wisdom of Lexington, who was bidding to take it all the way back for a touchdown. 2nd and 10, another handoff to Francis. Whoa! Wow. That was a hit. And it happened so fast, and the player bounced up so quickly on the defensive side for Lexington, I did not get their number. But Francis knocked back for a loss. I think it's safe to say that this Lexington defense does not resemble the one from the 2019 season, where in many of their games they allowed over 40 points. In fact, they allowed 28 points to this Belmont team. As we mentioned in that game, Francis ran for over 200 yards and scored a couple of touchdowns to help the Marauders in the win. 3rd down and 5. Once again, it is Westgate out of the shotgun. Low snap, but he gets it clean. And now he's back looking to throw, and he'll toss it, and it is nope. Is it caught?
Pass is complete.
Oh, my goodness. Matt McHugh caught the ball. Joshua Wisdom had perfect position for the interception, but he couldn't hang on to it, and I believe the ball just bounced right into the hands of, look what I found, Matt McHugh, the senior captain, who caught the ball and was beyond, well, he wasn't beyond the first down marker because it's 3rd down. Nope, wait a minute. No, that was the,
First and 10, Belmont.
it is 1st and 10. No, he was at the 27, which was enough for a first down. Well, that was a crazy play. Westgate had a lot of time. They're calling a penalty as well on this play. A late hit. Yeah, looks like a 15-yard penalty, so it must have been an unsportsmanlike.
That penalty, Belmont takes over on their own point.
Yeah. Okay, so 15 yards for, I'm guessing, either a personal foul or unsportsmanlike conduct, something of the sort. But that was such a strange play. Here's Francis on first down, looking to get to the outside. He cuts it back. He's got room. He's got a first down and more, and is finally knocked out of bounds inside the Lexington 40-yard line. Chad Francis. Well, that's back-to-back plays made by the senior captains.
Hatfield of Lexington.
Longest run of the day for Francis. He picks up about 22 yards on that carry for Chad Francis. That was after that crazy play where McHugh caught the ball off the hands of Wisdom, who looked like he had an interception. Now here comes Francis again on 1st and 10, and he'll bull his way inside the 35 down to about the 33-yard line. Francis struggled in that first half. We don't have any official stats to bring you, but I have to think he probably ran for somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe about 40 yards in that first half, if that. Lexington did a good job stopping him, and I think the longest first half run for Francis was 9 yards. Here in the third quarter, he's already ripped off a 22-yard run, but he'll come out of the game for a breather, and Tyler Arno checks back in. He'll line up next to Broderick, who's back in the game. Ryan Broderick hands off to Arno, who's got the first down. And he is inside the 25-yard line. So again, Coach Q switching things up at the quarterback position. That time it was Broderick back in for Westgate. And he finds Arno downfield. Apparently Coach Q's looking to get both of his quarterbacks into some different situations, and as a result, he's not going to just go drive by drive or quarter by quarter. He wants to see what these guys can do in certain spots on the field. And right now he's got, now he's got Westgate back in there. It's 9 and 6 are the two numbers of the quarterbacks, too, which makes it even more fun trying to remember or figure out which one's in there. Handoff, Tyler Arno, and Arno just dragging a tackler And he's inside the 20-yard line. He's going to bring up third and about 3. Nice run for the junior running back Tyler Arno. As we mentioned earlier, he's wearing his older brother Avery's number 5 this year. Going to call it 3rd and 4. Ball spotted just inside the 20-yard line. And once again, it's Broderick working out of the shotgun. He'll pitch it to Francis. Francis goes far side, looking for some room. He's got it, and I believe he's got the first down. Far side, he's inside the 15-yard line. And in fact, they're moving those chains. First down, Belmont on the run from Chad Francis, who's definitely finding a little bit more in the way of holes in this third quarter. Again, a little hard to pick out all the offensive linemen, but we did see them huddling up prior to the start of the half. Guys like Reed Carlson, Isaiah Gullidge, Asa Rosenmeyer, A.J. Ramey, Victor Insanik have all taken turns in there. High snap, handoff, Francis. Francis breaks one tackle and will not get by the second. And it'll result in a short gain. And that was Westgate back in at quarterback. But as we see the huddle on the near sideline, it's Broderick and Westgate. And Coach Q says, nope, okay, you're out 9-6, you're back in. So out goes Westgate, in comes Broderick. And we're looking at a second down and 7. Francis actually picked up about 3 yards on that play. Didn't look like he got much of anything, but he had a very workmanlike 3-yard gain. Pitch to Francis coming near side this time. Francis on his feet. He's down inside the 5. That should be good enough for another Belmont first down. And it will bring up 1st and goal.
That's a Belmont first down. 1st and goal on the 5.
This drive started all the way back inside down at the Belmont 15-yard line. And they're now down to the Lexington 5-yard line. 80 yards so far in this drive. Marauders trying to cap off this opening drive of the third quarter. Westgate's back in at quarterback. He's in the shotgun on 1st and goal. He'll hand it off to Francis. Francis is pulled down from behind. That was Gabriel Aguirre, number 11, who met Francis at the line of scrimmage. No gain, might have actually been a little bit of a loss. And they have put the ball back around the 8-yard line, so they're going to make it 2nd and goal from there.
2nd and goal from the 8.
Once again, Chad Francis, the lone running back. The quarterback is Ryan Broderick, who's in the shotgun. Francis to his right. He'll take the pitch from Broderick. There goes Francis, still going. He's down around the 2. Not quite to the goal line. Bring up a 3rd down and goal in what you would have to think is going to be 4-down territory for Coach Q.
Chad Francis carries the ball. Looks like it's on the 3-yard line.
Going to spot it at the 3.
3rd and goal.
Quite the drive for the Marauders, especially for Chad Francis, who's had the bulk of the work on this drive. They might have a chance to finish it off here. From the 3-yard line, 3rd and goal. This time Westgate's the quarterback in the shotgun. He'll pitch it to Francis. Francis going left, down near the goal line, not quite there. So close. As the clock continues to run, Marauders have held the ball now for over 8 minutes, or will soon be over 8 minutes by the time they line up to snap this one. And again, as I speculated a moment ago, I have to think the Marauders are going to go for this on 4th down and goal, even though they've now been pushed back to the 4. Now we're going to get a timeout from Belmont head coach Jan Kuhlman. 4th down and goal at the 4-yard line as Ryan Broderick, number 6, was getting ready to go back in QB. And this entire drive, Coach Q is elected to kind of alternate between Westgate and Broderick. the two quarterbacks that are kind of auditioning for the job here this afternoon. And they've both been put into different situations on this drive, and they've both come through very effective. Of course, it also helps in both of their cases that they get to pitch the ball to Chad Francis, who's starting to find a few more holes here in this third quarter. So we mentioned earlier on this drive, he had a 22-yard run. That's his longest run of the day as he slowly creeps his way up towards 100 yards rushing. We mentioned, of course, last year, Francis had 4 games last year where he ran for over 200 yards. And he scored 10 of his 12 touchdowns in those 4 games, coming against, one of them was against these Lexington Minutemen, the others were against Arlington, Woburn, and Malton Catholic. Right now we've got 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Lexington leading by a score of 7-0. Glad you're joining us here live on Comcast Channel 96, Verizon Channel 30, and on our live stream at belmontmedia.org/infotv. My name is Todd Bloniarz, along with BHS Sports TV executive producer and our cameraman today, Jeremy Meserve. We're glad to bring you a little March Madness from Harris Field. Spring football style on a beautiful spring day. It is the first day of spring, and there's not a cloud in the sky. Oh, I cannot tell you how much this is the time of year I think I love the best. The days are still getting longer. The temperatures are warming up. Can start cracking those windows open again. What a feeling. Things we appreciate, I think, now more than ever. Yeah, I was talking about the offensive line earlier for the Marauders. I am now kind of confirmed my my information that I was looking at the line. Isaiah Gullidge, a senior, is the center on the line for the Marauders. And he will snap this back to Ryan Broderick, who's in the shotgun. Francis to his right. Francis takes the pitch. Here he goes, 4th and goal. Looking to turn the corner. He does! Touchdown, Marauders! Chad Francis, a 4-yard touchdown run on 4th and goal. And the Marauders have got it on the scoreboard with 3:41 to go in the third quarter. Beautiful piece of running there by Chad Francis, who took the pitch from Ryan Broderick and just looked for his space. Got to bided time a little bit. It was a slight hesitation, and he just ran for that pylon. And it appears the Marauders are going to kick the extra point here. There was a little question. Noah Heron, who had a field goal blocked earlier. Again, we mentioned he's a former soccer player for the Marauders. Here's the kick. It is once again blocked. And for the second time, I would dare say that was less the fault of the kicker than it was. It seemed like there was no protection. Another mad rush by Lexington, and they were right in the grill of Meyer Heron and were able to block the kick. So Lexington maintains their lead at 7-6 with 3:41 to go here in the third quarter. But the Marauders come up with a big 4th and goal conversion from the 4-yard line. Chad Francis running wide, finds the pylon, and the Marauders have finally got it on the scoreboard here today. So now for the first time in the second half, we will see Lexington on offense. And so far, their offense has featured a lot of the wing T's. Again, I have to sort of re-assimilate myself. I think most high school and any organized football leagues have to re-assimilate themselves to the wing T. It is not a formation that's been used with great regularity in the last, dare I say, 20, 30, 50 years? It's the only reason I'm even mildly familiar with it is because, again, the great Ed Mullen was head coach here in Belmont back in the 80s and 90s when I first cut my teeth calling football games right here at this Harris Field back in the days when there was grass here, not this fake turf stuff. And we always played on Saturday afternoons because there were no lights. God, I'm really sounding like an old fart, aren't I? Anyway, it's... Please excuse the language. Anyway, the Marauders kicking off here from the 40-yard line.
Brendan Westgate, kickoff from Belmont.
Here's the kickoff. Yeah, that's Jonathan Williams kicking off. I know the announcer, the PA guy said, up the ball's loose again. Did the Marauders recover? Lexington is having all sorts of trouble on special teams. And they fumble it again, and again they pay the price for it. The Marauders have recovered. Boy, Mike Hill's going to have a talk with his special teams unit. They're going to need some extra practice or something. They have been struggling here this afternoon. And so the Marauders are going to get the ball right back here in the third quarter with a chance to take the lead.
First and 10, Belmont on the
Ball is spotted just outside the Lexington 25-yard line. It is Ryan Broderick back in at quarterback. Chad Francis has seen the bulk of the work here in this third quarter, and he'll take the handoff. Tries to bump to the outside. That time there's, I was about to say there could have been some room possibly, but Theodore Golestano makes the tackle, and it'll be a loss on the play for Belmont.
loss on the play, second, 13.
Looks like a loss of 3, so second down and 13 for Belmont. Brennan Westgate, number 9, checks back in for Broderick. And at this point, Coach Q is almost alternating the quarterbacks per play. Perhaps that's what's catching Lexington off guard a little bit here. Although, again, Francis is doing most of the running, so I guess it's, I don't know, maybe it's not throwing him off. This time the pitch again to Francis. He's back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Yeah, Francis on the carry.
So he got back the lost yards from the previous play, and I'll bring up third down and close to 10. I'll give him 9. Out goes Westgate. In comes Broderick. Other receivers out there include Jackson Stevens, Yardemian, Meyer Herron. They're all split to the outside, but we haven't seen an awful lot of passing attempts today. And once again, it'll be also see Zach Moss in there at a fullback spot. And presuming he'll block for, well, no, it's going to be a throw. And the pass is caught by Yardemian. Yardemian breaks the tackle. He's going to go to the end zone for a touchdown. Marauders. Junior Andre Yardemian caught the pass and broke a tackle and made his way to the house for 6. Marauders take the lead with 1:52 to go here in the third quarter. And I believe after the missed extra point, we might see the, although I see Meyer Herron out there, is he going to try to kick again, or are they going to go for 2? Conventional wisdom says after you miss an extra point, you would probably want to go for 2 to see if you can get the point back, and that's what they're doing. The quarterback will be Ryan Broderick, number 6. Francis is to his right. He'll take the pitch. He runs right. He's going to come up just short of the goal line.
Francis on the carry and does not make it. 1:52 to go in the third quarter. Belmont 12.
But Andre Yardemian
7.
with a 15-yard pass, and I believe that was Westgate who threw it to him. Now they're changing up the quarterback so quickly. I'm losing track of who threw the pass, but I think that was Westgate. And we do know for sure it was number 3, Andre Yardemian. It was 6, thank you. Nope, it was 6, it's Broderick. Thank you, Jeremy. Good spotting on your part. Okay, so it was Ryan Broderick throwing his first varsity touchdown pass for the 6'3 junior, and it's completed to Andre Yardemian. A pair of juniors hooking up on that touchdown. We'll call it a 15-yard pass play, and was a really nice one. Again, Yardemian looked like he was going to get bottled up, and he broke the tackle. So the Marauders have scored twice, 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes. And suddenly the Marauders lead 12-7, 1:52 remaining here in the third quarter. What will the Marauders try on the kickoff this time, as Lexington's been having all sorts of problems today on their special teams. As far as returns, they've had 3 fumbles on special teams plays, and they've lost 2 of them. Williams is kicking off after Coach Q gets his way back onto the sideline. He was sort of out on the field there for a brief moment. That kick is going to go out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. That's a penalty, so that'll move the ball up to, I want to say, I don't know I forget where they put it in high school. So I guess I'll wait and see where they're going to mark this. I think it's going to be at the 30-yard line. Maybe the 35. Yeah, it looks like the 35. That's where they're going to mark it. Kind of trying to watch where they were huddling. And that's where Lexington will start. This will be the first offensive series for the Minutemen here in the second half, and it comes with 1:52 to go in the third quarter. It'll be 1st and 10 for Lexington at their own 35-yard line.
Lexington starts on the 35-yard line.
And really, from the Belmont point of view, that's really the last thing you want to do. If you've got a team that's struggling to run back kickoffs or punts and they're fumbling the ball, the last thing you want to do is kick the ball out of bounds on the kickoff. Unfortunately, that's what happened, and so the Marauders end up on defense and no opportunity to try to force a turnover. That's Nelson Mendez-Steven, who, again, we haven't seen the Lexington offense on the field in quite a while here. Handoff goes to Hatfield. He's got their lone score, and he'll pick up about 5 on that first carry.
Noah Maya Herron in on the tackle.
Noah Maya Herron, who's had a couple of kicks blocked today, was in on the tackle, playing from his defensive back position.
2nd and 5.
Again, Marauders have Gullidge and Ramey and Carlson up on the front line defensively. Many of the same players you saw on the offensive line. Here's Hatfield on 2nd down and 5, looking to turn the corner, and he won't get there. Nice job that time by Carlson, and I believe that's, is that 15 far side? Is that...
Matt McHugh went on the tackle.
No, McHugh. Matt McHugh made some big tackles earlier. Should have known. McHugh's had a couple of very loud tackles in this game today. 3rd down and 5, no gain on that play for Lexington. 3rd and 5 upcoming. I just saw defensive coordinator Dave Pereira call for the home run apparently over on the sideline. He just did a motion where he swung a bat. I don't know what that means. Maybe Pereira's calling his own pitch. Speaking of pitch, rugby season's not too far off. A lot of these Belmont football players actually will be moving over to the rugby pitch in just a few short weeks. Meanwhile, 3rd down play, and it's going to result in a 1st down for number 28, Patrick Krogan. Longest run of the day we've seen from the Minutemen. McHugh finally got Krogan down, but not before Krogan got into Belmont territory with a big run on a 3rd and 5. Gets the ball all the way down to the Belmont 36-yard line. Well, we haven't seen Krogan get that many carries today, but
on the Belmont 36-yard line.
That time he was able to find a little hole over on the right side and break into the open field. Since he went out of bounds, the clock stopped with 11 seconds to go. And assuming this play stays in bounds, it should be the last play of the third quarter. Mendez-Steven in the shotgun. This time it's a wing T with no T at the bottom. It's just 2 backs to each side. Mendez-Steven's going to keep it himself. He's in the open field. He's got the 1st down. He's got more. He had a lot of running room over on the far side of the field, and he will get out of bounds inside the Belmont 20. Clock stopping with 2 seconds to go in the quarter.
To Lexington 1st down.
Good heads-up play there from sophomore quarterback Nelson Mendez-Steven as he rolled out left and saw a whole lot of real estate and took it. And he's got the first down for Lexington. That's down at the Belmont 15-yard line. Now they're back to the wing tee with a back behind the quarterback. Mendez-Steven fakes the pitch, and he was going to pitch it back, kept it himself, and probably got about 3 yards.
Nelson Mendez-Steven on the carry.
Zach Moss, I think one of the Marauders in on that tackle, number 10.
Appears to be the end of the third quarter.
That is the last play of the third quarter, so we'll
Belmont 12, Lexington 7.
switch ends one more time. And get ready for the final 12 minutes. Your score after 3. Belmont Marauders 12, Lexington Minutemen 7 here on BHS Sports TV. Again, very glad you could join us here on this first day of spring. It is officially the Fall 2 season here in eastern Massachusetts. And we hope certainly everyone remains safe and Marauders are able to get through their 5-game schedule against their Middlesex League Liberty Division brethren. That would, of course, be the Lexington Minutemen. The Winchester Sachems will be here at Harris Field next week for a 1 o'clock kickoff. Another game we'll be bringing you via BHS Sports TV, thanks to Jeremy. And we will also be bringing you the game at the end of the season against Arlington. That's also a home game coming up in April. I know Arlington actually was supposed to play a game this weekend. Unfortunately, they had a COVID scare, and as a result, that game has been postponed, or I would presume it may very well be canceled. I don't know if they've left any time in this shortened season to be able to reschedule games, especially with football. Again, sometimes with other sports you can try to squeeze a game in, maybe play, multiple games in a week's time, but with football that just doesn't work. It's not that practical. I mean, it does happen, of course, in some instances, particularly around the Thanksgiving holiday, that you might be playing a couple games within a 5-day period, but really no need to have to take such drastic measures. So in all likelihood that game probably will not be made up, which again is why hopefully Marauders can make it through their practices and all these games and are able to play all 5 games that are on their Middlesex League schedule. Here is a handoff on first down, that was second down. Not much of a gain there.
Nelson Mendez-Steven on the carry.
Quarterback keeper, and that's going to bring the ball up to a 3rd and 1. Ball is at the 6-yard line, as Lexington looks to retake the lead. Again, this is their first offensive series of the second half, as we are in the first minute of the fourth quarter. We'll see what the Minutemen call here. Again, you might think, given that it's 3rd and short, this could be 4-down territory for Lexington. Nelson Mendez-Steven remains the quarterback. We saw Aiden Lynch early, but since then it's been the sophomore all the way. He'll keep it again himself, plunging up the middle, close to the goal line. And he's just a little short, but he does have more than enough to pick up the first down.
Appears to be 1st and goal, Lexington. Ball in the Belmont 1-yard line.
First
3-yard line.
First and goal for Lexington. Certainly looks like from where the ball is angled, it looks like the ball's at the 1-yard line, but for some reason when you look at the yard marker, the down marker on the sideline, they're spotting it at the 3. And again, it may be an optical illusion, but where that ball is positioned right now does not look like it's on the 3-yard line. Looks like it's closer to the 1, as it's not far from the goal line at all. Expect another quarterback keeper here, perhaps, from Nelson Mendez-Steven, but before we have that, we're going to have a Michael Hill timeout.
10 minutes, 6 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
And we're going to have a clock stoppage here. We've played a little under 2 minutes here in this fourth quarter. Belmont now leading by a score 12-7 thanks to a couple of third quarter touchdowns. 4-yard Chad Francis touchdown run on a 4th and goal conversion, and then it was junior quarterback Ryan Broderick finding his classmate Andre Yardemian for a touchdown pass. 2 touchdowns were scored in less than 2 minutes' time and flipped around what was a Lexington lead and has given the Marauders the 5-point advantage. However, Lexington now has the ball 1st and goal inside the Belmont 5. And actually, it looks like they have it right on the doorstep of the goal line. Marauders defense goes out there after defensive coordinator Dave Pereira gives them the play that they will employ. Nelson Mendez-Steven, who came on early in that first quarter, they'll go with the quarterback keeper, and it will be touchdown. Nelson Mendez-Steven, the sophomore, who appears to have taken the lead in Lexington's quarterback race, gets a 1-yard TD run, and Lexington retakes the lead with 9:55 to go here in the fourth quarter. Looks like Lexington is going to go for 2 here, which with a 1-point lead makes some sense. See if they can increase that lead to 3. Mendez-Steven is in the backfield, and it looks like he's going nowhere. No, check that. He broke 3 tackles and went into the end zone. The Marauders had him wrapped up, and I think I'm starting to see why Nelson Mendez-Steven may very well stick as Lexington's starting quarterback. That play looked like it was going nowhere fast, and Mendez-Steven broke probably 2 or 3 tackles on that play and goes into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So Lexington now leads 15-10, 15-12 with 9:55 to go. That could very well prove to be a big 2-point conversion, as the Marauders now at best could only tie the game with a field goal as opposed to potentially win it. It may put Coach Q into more of a touchdown thinking mode, as the breeze has picked up a little bit here at Harris Field. Still just a wonderful day. Temperatures in the 50s and more spring-like temperatures on the way. Certainly don't forget BHS Sports TV. Jeremy Meserve will be out there for more spring sports coverage. Of course, we'll have the football coverage. There's some volleyball games being broadcast as well. All these games being broadcast live, of course, as we remind you, on Comcast Channel 96, Verizon Channel 30, and live streaming, where you can catch us from anywhere in the universe at belmontmedia.org/infotv. Yes, that's right. We're not limiting it to just the world anymore. If you're up there at the International Space Station, you want to watch, I think you can get our signal. The stream is going live. I don't know. Well,
You're going to be wanting to watch rugby up there, you know that.
I was told they're big rugby fans up at the space station, so we'll have to make sure that live stream's working for sure by then. Here is a kickoff return that winds up with Belmont getting the ball to start this drive at their 25-yard line. Once again, the return man was number 33, Gordon Lassiter, a 5'8 junior.
Lassiter on the return.
Or Lassiter if you want to add extra E's to his last name. I will apologize up front for any names I am mispronouncing here today. Some of these names ring a bell to me from prior seasons, but any of the new names I could very well be messing up. So apologies up front. Feel free to send your comments and also how the name should be pronounced. You can send it to Jeremy at the Belmont Media Center, so I will know for next time. Here we go. Belmont starting their drive. 1st and 10 at their own 25. I want to say that's Broderick, and he'll throw far side incomplete. Was looking for Preston Jackson Stevens over there. Good throw that time from Ryan Broderick, who of course completed the touchdown pass to Andre Yardemian earlier. And with that incompletion, Broderick will check out. Brennan Westgate, the senior, checks back in. So whereas it looks like Lexington perhaps has made a decision at their quarterback spot, Coach Q continues the audition here into the 4th quarter, alternating the quarterbacks by play now. Pitch to Chad Francis, coming near side. Francis, and he is just chased and pushed out of bounds by Patrick Krogan. I'll tell you, this Lexington defense has impressed me today because remember, it was back in October of 2019 that Chad Francis ran for over 230 yards and a couple of touchdowns against this Lexington defense, but that defense is not on display today by the Minutemen. They've been playing much stiffer. Francis's longest run of the day has been just 22 yards. He's not been able to break into the open field, and in many cases when he tries to turn the corner, there's someone there on the edge ready to push him out of bounds. This time it's Arno in the backfield with Broderick. And it looks like perhaps a blitz is coming. And the Marauders pick it up. They dump it off to Preston Jackson Stevens, who's got the first down. But, nope, okay, he did hold on to it. Looked like the ball might have squirted loose for a minute, but nope. Preston Jackson Stevens hangs on and picks up the first down. That's a great way to combat the blitz, which was coming from that far side of the field. You can see the Lexington players kind of cheating. And Westgate had to get rid of that ball quickly, and he did. Check that. Broderick had to get rid of that ball quickly, and he did. Here comes Westgate. He's back in the game. Oh, boy. This really does have the feel of spring football, doesn't it? Isn't this when everybody gets a tryout and you're changing your quarterback every play in the huddle? It's I think this is what most colleges experience in the spring when they're practicing. Here's a pitch over to the far side. I want to say I think that was Tyler Arno over there, number 5. Yeah, all right, it was Arno. Far side picks up about 4 yards.
Arno on the carry. Pick up a 3.
Broderick coming back in now. Arno remains in. Arno and Francis have not been rotating quite as quickly as the quarterbacks have for the Marauders. One thing I will say, though, I have not mixed up. I'm surprised I haven't said, like, Brennan Broderick and Ryan Westgate yet. Of course, now that I've done that, I'm sure I've just jinxed myself for sure. Here's Broderick. That would be Ryan Broderick, and the pass is incomplete. He was looking for Yardemian again on the quick slant.
Pass is incomplete.
It's going to be 3rd down, and we'll call it 6, a long 6. Belmont's got to get to their own 49 to pick up a first down. 7:27 to go in the 4th quarter. Lexington leading by a score of 15-12. Again, Todd Bloniarz, your announcer, along with Jeremy Meserve, our cameraman and the executive producer of BHS Sports TV. Glad you could be with us live today here on a beautiful day. What else would you be doing on the vernal equinox anyway, other than watching high school football? Come on. Here you go. 3rd and 7. It goes back to Westgate. He's looking. He's going to lob it up, looking for Yardemian. It's incomplete. It's funny, the Lexington defender, number 28, Patrick Krogan, was looking for the flag. I honestly thought that maybe Yardemian should have been looking for the flag because I thought Krogan was all over Yardemian. But they didn't call anything on either side, and so it's 4th down. The Marauders will have to punt. At least I assume they're going to punt here. It's 4th and a long 6. There's 7:18 to go here in the 4th quarter. mean, you kind of have to rely on your defense here if you're Belmont, that they're going to make a stop and you're going to have time to get the ball back. And there's still a fair amount of time left in this one, as I believe that's Noah Heron back there. He'll take the snap and he will punt it away, but that punt was blocked. This has been a very strange day for the Lexington special teams, because as far as their ability to block kicks, they have been extremely effective. Their ability to return kicks and hold on to the football, not so much. I don't know, very strange to be so good on one part of special teams and not be so good on the other. But, well, I guess that's what you're going to be pinpointing in practice next week, Coach Hill. Due to the blocked punt, Lexington starts this drive with excellent field position at their own 47. So now the Marauders will need to make a stop, and then probably are going to have a long drive coming back the other way, assuming they don't block a Lexington punt. But anyway, it's back to the Minutemen and the wing T, and here's the handoff to Hatfield. Gavin Hatfield, sophomore, who accounted for Lexington's first touchdown, will pick up 5. And he's into Belmont territory at the 48-yard line.
Second and 4.
You can hear Coach Q over here talking to one of his players, giving him some very constructive criticism, we'll say. Yes, it's second down at 2nd and 5. Mendez-Steven in the shotgun. Handoff. Hatfield again. And he's going to break a tackle and get a first down. We've seen too many Lexington players break too many tackles today, and that's another reason the Minutemen are leading in this game. Again, this was a Lexington team that a year ago was 3-8. A year ago. Well, 500-odd days ago they were 3-8. And they certainly look like a better team than that right now. No, they have not. It's not like they played a perfect game, but they've played a very solid game. They've run the ball effectively. Their guys are breaking tackles. Their defensive pressure, again, they've limited Chad Francis to probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 100 yards. But Francis hasn't been able to break one of those long runs that he's so much known for. And right now we've got a timeout with 6:07 to go. Coach Q is out there in the modified huddle. Out there with Coach Pereira as well, defensive coordinator. He's calling the defensive plays this year. Again, we'll have more football games for you here on BHS Sports TV next week. That would be March the 27th. We'll celebrate the first full week of spring with another football game. It'll be Belmont and Winchester. Marauders and Sachems, 1 o'clock kickoff here at Harris Field. We'll have the live stream for you, of course, at belmontmedia.org/infotv. Then a couple of road games, Woburn and Reading, and then the season finale scheduled for, I believe it's April 17th against Arlington. That would be here at Harris Field, also a 1 o'clock kickoff. All 1 o'clock kickoffs for the Marauders and all Saturday games this year. There's a good defensive play. A.J. Ramey, big number 77, is there to slow down Ahmad Hanbury. And there is no gain on that play. It'll be second down.
Tackled by number 77, A.J. Ramey. 2nd and 10.
Clock continues to run. Down to 5:40, and the clock running here in the fourth quarter. It is Lexington 15, Belmont 12. Here on opening day of the Belmont Marauders football season. Mendez-Steven in the shotgun, again employing the wing T offensive attack. Here's Krogan, and Krogan will be sort of pancakes there by Ryan McHugh. Nice tackle. Matt McHugh, check that. Number 20, Matt McHugh, one of the senior captains, who's made some very nice tackles today. Gain of a couple at the 38-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 8. So this is what the Marauders defense needs to do. Needs to come up with a big stop here. You really want to limit the 3rd down yardage for Lexington, because if Lexington, even if they come up just short of a 1st down, if it's 4th down and short, they might likely try to go for it, particularly in this part of the field. So the Marauders really need to kind of hold Lexington to the line of scrimmage. Crowd here at Harris Field starting to make some noise. There's the snap back to Mendez Steven. We saw him break a tackle earlier on a 2-point conversion, but this time he's wrapped up over there on the far side of the field. Nice tackling down there. Was that Reed Carlson perhaps down there? Got a lick. Meyer Herron. Not sure who got the stop, but regardless, it's 4th down and 10. So the Minutemen will have to punt at the Belmont 40. Marauders are going to get the ball back with under 4 minutes to go. Clock running, 3:50, 3:49. And the Marauders trail by 3, and they're going to get the ball back. Not sure what the delay is for here. Again, we're having another delay, and I believe we're getting, did Lexington take the delay game penalty? Or did they took the timeout. They waited for the play clock to. Of course, the great thing about the play clock is they keep it on the field, so we have no idea how much time's left on the play clock, but the officials do, and that's the important thing. And I think Lexington, of course, let the play clock run down to the final second before Coach Michael Hill called the timeout. So coming out of the timeout, Lexington's going to have a 4th down and 10. Presumably they will be punting here. And the Marauders are going to get the ball back. We've got 3 minutes, 31 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter. Coach Pereira talking to the defense. Getting ready for what the play is. Coach Q waving to the crowd. Again, a nice crowd here at Harris Field today. What is just, they say, a beautiful spring day. March Madness in the air. I assume like myself, most of you, your brackets have already been busted, but why do we think every year that we seem to know how we're going to pick those brackets, huh? Every year we get it wrong. Most years we do not even come close. But we keep trying. I guess it's kind of like the... it's kind of like that ant in the rubber tree plant, right? He just keeps on trying. All right, anyway, that's a reference your grandparents might get. Okay, here's the kick. On the punt, and it is bouncing down, and it will be down at the 5-yard line. A very good kick there from Lucas Patax-Basaza. He's the sophomore kicker for these Lexington Minutemen, and perfectly placed punt. Belmont's going to start here 1st and 10. They've got 95 yards to go for a game-winning touchdown. Perhaps less for a game-tying field goal. 3:19 to go, 3rd quarter. By the way, I'm not sure, do we have overtime?
Takes over, 1st down on their own 5-yard line.
Will they let the game end in a tie, or would they play overtime if we are tied at the end of 48 minutes? I am not sure of that. I don't know if they... it seems like most of the in-game rules have not changed here during COVID time, so I assume that there would be an overtime period, but we'll have to wait and see if it comes to that. Here's Chad Francis running and trying to give the Marauders a little bit more breathing room, and he does that up to about the 8-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 7 for Belmont. Marauders are going to have to show a little sense of urgency here. Now we're down under 3 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. The quarterback is Brennan Westgate. I'm also not sure how often now Coach Q is going to be able to keep switching up the quarterbacks, given that the clock is running. Also not sure of Belmont's timeout situation here and how many times they can stop it. Westgate hands off to Francis. He doesn't go anywhere that time. That is a 64 Theodore Golestino again. He has had several tackles in this game. His older brother, Matai, number 62, is one of Lexington's players to watch, but it's been sophomore kid brother, Theodore, who's been coming up with the big hits, particularly in the tackle for loss department.
There's an 8, Belmont.
Coming down to 2 minutes remaining, and it is right now 3rd and a long 7 for the Marauders just to keep this drive going. Broderick hands off to Francis. He turns. He will get outside of the 10, but the clock continues to run. He did not get out of bounds, and it's 4th down. Coach Q does continue to switch up quarterbacks. Broderick checks out. Westgate checks in. It is 4th down. And this could be it, my friends. 4th and I'm going to call it about 3 or 4. Looks like the Marauders have to get to the 15 for a first down. The ball spotted, looks like just outside the 10, so really it's a very long 4. And Westgate now, very big. He's under center. He's going to call timeout. Didn't like what he saw there. Well, I mean, you know, again, this is really the last chance for Belmont, so you better make sure you've got the play you want and that you can have a decent chance of executing it. 1 minute and 14 seconds to go, and the Marauders, what appears to be a long ways even from a first down, let alone any kind of score. They are just across their own 10-yard line. They have to get to the 15 to get a first down, which will keep their drive going, but will also keep the clock running. And the Marauders are running out of time here as well, trailing 15-12 in their opener against the Lexington Minutemen. As my esteemed sports producer and cameraman Jeremy Meserve just pointed out, this will probably have to be a pass play, something that Coach Q has hesitated from doing very much of this afternoon as he's been trying out both his quarterbacks, junior Ryan Broderick, who threw a touchdown pass earlier to Andre Erdemian, and Brennan Westgate, the senior. They've both had a few chances to throw today, but I don't know if either one of them has thrown more than 5 passes in this game. But right now, on a 4th and, let's say, a pretty long 3 or 4, I mean, you're kind of in that no man's land where you could maybe try to throw a short pass, or, again, you could try to rely on Chad Francis, who's sort of been the man today, who's provided most of the offense for you, but has not really been able to break any runs, and normally you'd say, yeah, he can pick up 3 yards easily, but Lexington's defense is begging to differ on that front. It's Broderick. He's looking. He throws. It's incomplete. There's a flag down as he was thrown in the direction of Preston Jackson Stevens, who was double-teamed and is probably going to go against the defense. And if it is, the drive will continue for Belmont with 1:09 to go. We've got the clock stoppage as the flag got thrown and the pass was incomplete. And it is officially pass interference on Lexington.
Penalty on Lexington. Belmont first down.
So, Broderick, despite the incomplete pass, draws the penalty. Defensive pass interference, and so Marauders get the first down. Westgate checks back in with 1:09 remaining, but the Marauders are really going to need to pick up some chunks of yards here. They are running out of time, and I don't know how many timeouts they have remaining. Francis is the back lined up next to Westgate. He'll take the pitch. Can he find some running room? Here comes Francis to the outside. Nothing is there. Again, on the coverage, Ahmad Hanbury and Patrick Krogan.
Yes, Francis on the carry.
These guys have just been on the edge all day. They've been beating Francis to the corner and have been able to stop him. Very impressive. These are some talented defensive backs for the Minutemen and have really limited Francis from being able to turn the corner on the outside and make that turn upfield and then break out into the speed we know he has. 1:01 remaining as the clock stopped on the out-of-bounds play. It is 2nd and 10. No gain for Francis. Can the Marauders employ some downfield passing here? They've got to think about it as time is running out and they're still over 70 yards from the end zone. This is Westgate at quarterback. Back to throw. Now there's some pressure on. He'll have to get rid of it quickly, and it's going to be incomplete. Matt McHugh tried to catch it and keep his feet in bounds. Unfortunately, Matt is only listed on the roster here at 6 feet. Would have needed to be a couple feet longer to keep those toes in bounds on the sideline. But on that play, too, was kind of a jailhouse break on the blitz for Lexington. They had 2 men in pursuit of Westgate. We're down to 55 seconds left, 3rd and 10. Broderick checks back in at quarterback.
3rd and 10.
I mean, if either quarterback can get some time to throw, they're going to have to think about throwing something downfield. That's kind of part of the problem here, too. Marauders need big chunks of yards. They need throws downfield, but you can't get those unless you get the pass protection. Lexington's defense seems to be all over the place right now. Broderick's back in the shotgun. He's going to look downfield, looking for Jackson Stevens, and it is incomplete, knocked away. Double coverage over there. That is Krogan and Hatfield. And now it comes down to one last play with 48 seconds left. 4th and 10. Looks like it's going to be Westgate back in at quarterback as he's being given the play by Coach Q. Now he's going to, now Coach Q wants to talk to Broderick, and in fact it'll be Broderick who goes in. So he was talking to both quarterbacks and Coach Q decided to put Broderick in for this play. So it's 4th and 10. Belmont's got to get to at least their own 41, probably a little bit past their own 41 to get a first down and keep this game going. They trail 15-12, 48 seconds to go. Francis is split to the right of Broderick, who's back to throw. He's looking downfield once again, throws it up. It is incomplete. Intended for Noah Maya Heron. And that will do it. A good effort there from Broderick getting the ball downfield, but once again, double-teamed. Marauder receivers appeared to be double-teamed all game long. It's almost like they knew which receiver the Belmont quarterbacks were going to throw to. And now Lexington takes over with 41 seconds remaining. And we should have probably just one kneel down, and that will do it. So the Marauders got a couple of touchdowns today from Chad Francis and Andre Yardemian, but it was not enough, as they also had a field goal blocked and missed an extra point and did not convert on a two-point conversion. Lexington, meantime, had a successful extra point and then also converted on a two-point conversion. And it was by that man under center right now, Nelson Mendez-Steven, the sophomore who took over in the first quarter at quarterback for Lexington in place of Aiden Lynch and has done a very solid job back there. He takes the knee, and I don't even think they're going to have to take another knee as they're already heading over towards the bench. Well, we'll wait and see. I don't know. Did the play clock start up again, or are we just going to wind things down? I believe that's going to do it. Yeah, both teams will head back to their respective sidelines. Final seconds of this one tick away. And this game is over. Nice round of applause for the effort from the Belmont parents here that were able to attend in person today. But your final score is Lexington 15, Belmont 12. Marauders start their I don't know if you want to call this the 2020 or the 2021 season. I think it's 2020 because the 2021 season starts in September, I believe. So can't have two of those. So, okay, we're going to turn the clock back. It's the 2020 season, and the Marauders start off 0-1. They'll be hosting Winchester next week. That game on BHS Sports TV. Once again, want to thank executive producer of BHS Sports TV and our talented cameraman Jeremy Meserve, bringing you all the sights and sounds of this one. For Jeremy, my name is Todd Bloniarz, and again, just a reminder, this has been a BHS Sports TV production.